Hey everybody, welcome to a Scrolls Guide video. This is going to be a tutorial on how to use the deck builder and show you some of the features um, that you might have missed, or give you some tips for deck building. So we'll just jump right in. And so we see a couple different things right off the bat. Here's this thing that looks like a book that we're going to see that our whole library is in. We see this blank area, and we notice that when we move over the scrolls, they sort of preview down here, and you can see the scroll text bigger, and you can see what it looks like on the board if it has a board presence. Whereas like burn is a spell, it doesn't have anything, but Brothers of the Wolf or Bunny, they show up in their hex square. So that's kind of neat. There's a couple different filters and sort options that you can use. Obviously, you can just filter by resource type, where if you click it, it's going to, at this point everything is selected, so I clicked it and it's going to deselect that resource type. And now everything's sort of showing up. You can see it's alphabetical at first, so it's sorted by name because name is highlighted, but you can also sort by type. And it takes a little while because I'm on a slow computer, so I apologize. But yeah, now they're sorted by spell, or you can see they're still alphabetical, but then it's spell, 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 spell. So type is the type of scroll it is. So we're through all, you can see all the spells, and this is the navigation system. You can either click or you can drag. We can just sort of drag over. Okay. So now we get past spells and we get into enchantments, and then we can see those are alphabetized, and we can see that we have both energy and growth still because we have both of those highlighted. We can bring up deck. We can say load deck, and you can see when you first start you have the pre-constructed decks that you can choose from. So you can say growth. We'll pull up. You'll see basically just dumps all the cards into this table here. So we'll use the sort button to clean everything up, and we can see this is the pre-constructed growth deck. Now let's say we want to make some changes to this deck, we want to make some additions or such. Let's go ahead and turn off energy because we want to keep it mono growth. And then let's go ahead and sort by cost. I'll give it a moment. Okay, so now we can see everything sort of sorted by cost here. And let's say we want to take out nutrition. Let's say we're not a fan of nutrition, so we can just grab it, and we can do a quick grab if we just click once and just start moving, or we can click and hold and it'll grab both of them at the same time. And it'll do that no matter where they are on the, this is basically your table that you have all your scrolls laid out on, and you're building your deck. So, so it'll pull those, and then we can put those up, and then they go back into our library. And we can see I have currently 4 nutrition. So if I wanted to add these back to my deck, let's say I change my mind, I can click and hold, and it's going to grab 3 of them, and it's going to just drop them right in because I did the click and hold. And now you can see that put me up to 41 scrolls though. So I only want to take one out. So I do a little click and I start moving it, and it goes back. Let's say we have we want to add Dryadic power, or let's try and find a good example of this. You can see. All right, let's say we want to add another ancestral totem. So if we click and hold, it looks like we're going to add 2, but we can see there's already 2 in our deck. So there's a 3 scroll limit. So when I let go, one of those scrolls just pops back to my library. And you can see in real time that my library gets updated with quantities and such. So let's say we're trying to edit this deck, and we're looking through our growth scrolls, and we see some stuff like maybe we want to put in another kinfolk, but then we're doing this and we see, oh, I've got 2 Gravehawks now. maybe I want to make a Gravelock deck, let's say. So we can go ahead and clear the table, and it's going to wipe out this deck. In a moment, sorry. Okay, so then, so now the Gravehawk is back this way, and so instead of going to search for it, we can just type Gravehawk, and eventually when my sorts through my library, it finds the Gravehawk. So then I can just click and add those in. Now, if I want to make a Gravelock deck, that means I need to be in energy, so I can click to turn energy back on. And let's, instead of typing Gravehawk, let's type Grave. And so now we can see, and Gravehawk would show up too, because it searches the name. We can see basically every Gravelock that we currently own. So let's go ahead and put all our Gravelock in, because we want to make a Gravelock deck. And then, so that's everything Gravelock. So we'll delete that search. And it may pop everything back up. It may not. There we go. Okay. So what it's doing now is it's going to bring, it's going to bring everything back that, now that we don't have that search criteria. And let's say we want to, oh, I lost my connection, sorry. Sometimes this happens, sometimes when I'm recording. We'll see if it comes back. Usually it comes back without an issue. So yeah, there we go. This just means I need a new computer. Sorry. So let's go ahead and add some more scrolls in. Let's say we want Copper Automaton. We want to put Ember Bonds in for some protection. We're going to have a lot of guys. We're going to put in Fury. We'll just cycle through really quick. We like Scatter Guard because he's aggressive. We'll put in Spark for extra protection. Let's find, let's say we want some Thunder Surge, sure. And then we'll do Iron Ogre because we're getting really greedy here. Oh, actually, you know what we forgot? If we're doing a Gravehawk deck and we can we'll clean out the table, we'll probably want a Memorials to help fix our resources. So we'll want to add in 3 Tribal Memorial. Okay, so we sort of went through the growth, or I'm sorry, we went through the energy to see what we have. We have 5 spaces left right now, so we can go back to growth, and then we can hide energy. Hopefully, there we go. And we can dig through, and let's say we only want to use, we're sorted by cost still, and I like sorting by cost because it helps me sort of construct decks better, or construct better decks, because if I'm just splashing a little bit for growth here, I don't want to be putting in a Quake just because I won't be able to cast it. So let's say we want to put in, we can get to 2 growth, so let's go ahead and say we want Sand Pact to help us with our energy to get up so we can cast those Iron Ogres and Thunder Surges. And then we want Kinfolk Brave too. So you can see that puts us to 41 scrolls, and the minimum number of scrolls you can have in your deck is 40, and you really want to stick to that number. Typically, it's not. It's just for consistency's sake. So we're looking through this deck. Let's say we've got 3 Ember Bonds and we have 3 Spark. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say people are playing growth decks more, so I think Ember Bonds might be a better choice, because if everybody's playing Order, your Ember Bonds might just get purified. But Ember Bonds is going to do at least 2 damage, and then it's going to do 2 more damage, maybe even after that. And that, I'm just making that up. That could be totally wrong. So I'm going to click and move real quick, and I'm going to put one of those sparks back. Okay, so now we have a 40 card deck. We can see we have 23 creatures, 8 spells, 6 structures, and 3 enchantments. And that seems like a pretty good mix. It's a little creature heavy, but creatures play such a big role in the game usually that you'll want unless you're drawing a lot of scrolls, you want a good number of creatures. So we're going to go ahead and save this deck. We'll just call it Gravelock, and then we'll go ahead and save. Now we can see it shows up right here. It shows when we made it, and it shows what resources it has. So here it is again. That's the deck builder in a nutshell, and I think it's going to try and load itself again. Beyond that, though, what you'll probably notice is I have quite a few scrolls already. If you're lacking scrolls, if you don't have a ton of scrolls at the moment, and you want to try and if you don't have a lot of scrolls at the moment and you want to still try to build decks, I recommend going to the scrolls guide. And this is actually where I try and make like my framework of decks sometimes. Scrolls guide, deck builder. You can get to it just straight from scrollsguide.com. You can go right to home deck builder up at the top. And I'm sure I linked to it, so you can get that. Pretty basic. You can see you can sort by alphabetical, or you can sort by cost. We'll sort by cost because I like to do that, and we'll filter out. You can filter. They're just the same, and you can see it's very similar. You get the text here. You can go ahead and drag scrolls in, sort of one at a time, and then you can stack them. And it's the same sort of sticky clicking thing that happens. It'll tell you how many of each kind of scroll you have, and then you can export the list, and it'll show up there as just a text file. You can save the list, and then it'll name it, and it'll show up in your saved decks. So right now, let's go look at like 3-Color Willy. Rest in peace, poor lad. And we can see that it's loading. Give it a moment, sorry. Yeah, but you can see it has 40 scrolls. And then the even split. Let's try and load Go Wolves. I think I made that more recently. Okay, so there we go. You can see Go Wolves here. Pretty standard 40 scrolls, and then you can read them, and then you can copy this link out, and people can come and look at your deck and make comments. And if you submit a deck to like the deck workshop, you can make it here and submit that link. But what this allows you to do is it allows you to build a deck from all potential scrolls as opposed to all the scrolls you own. And this sort of helps you build like a wish list of scrolls you don't have and scrolls you want, so that'll help with your trading practices. So that's more or less the deck builder on Scrolls Guide, and that's the deck builder in Scrolls. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. Until next time.